discussion already kind of kicked off, but welcome to the town hall for November 7th here. Um, glad to see so many people in. Our guest tonight is Global Boost. They will be talking to us about their project, and I have a couple updates. Updates for this week are kind of little. We've been really having our head down trying to get the new wallets out for everyone. I know it's been taking a while. We've just had some hiccups with the iOS version, which have been mostly resolved. So um, they will be coming out soon. This will include the pirate atomic swaps, which are functioning perfectly now. So yeah, I can't wait to have it come out to everyone. We are also having a trading contest being launched here soon as well. So keep your eyes out for that. Um, so this basically the details of it will be we'll have a formal announcement, but for every atomic swap that you do with between any sort of coin, your volume gets calculated, and you have a chance to win a prize based off the top swappers. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Additionally, we're wrapping up the Bitrefill integration. It's been kind of a paperwork issue primarily. Some miscommunication between which entity is going to actually be registered to receive payments from them, because in the Komodo ecosystem, there's several different businesses, and yeah, there was miscommunication between the dev entity and the IP holding entity.
Yes. Okay.
So yeah, there's that is pretty much it for the updates. Like I said, this is a very short week. It was mainly the entire team has been grinding away, testing the apps, primarily the iOS ones, but also finishing up some bugs on the Linux version as well. But it's coming, guys. So yeah, just a little bit more patience, and you guys will see the new apps with the updated code base, which is already visible on our web version, but these um, desktop apps and mobile apps will be local to your device. So I understand a lot of people aren't uh, friendly towards web apps because it's external hosting and so on. So this will assuage those fears. Um, so yeah, that's in terms of updates for this week. That's about it. So I will turn it over to Lutz for any marketing updates. Or
Sure. Okay, so we're gonna keep going here, guys. We're gonna do this show. We're gonna build it up. I think this is the best marketing we could do because we're touching you at a peer to peer level. Like we got Randy here. We could actually talk in confidence and not have to worry about other people, right? We're all here for the same reason. As far as marketing, guys, we're just gonna keep it going the way we're going. Nothing crazy. Uh, I don't feel that marketing is going to do much until we have a solid amount of people in here, right? Until people understand the vision of Komodo and get on board. And you guys know that vision is to kill all centralized exchanges. Komodo is the end all solution for exchanges because Komodo is open source. Komodo can be forked from by any project and is white labeled. Right? You can white label it for your own project. And then once you do that, you share liquidity with every other project that adds it to their coin, to their coin project, right? So why wouldn't every coin do this and offer all their people an exchange within the wallet? Why wouldn't they do it, right? But they will. Everybody will do this, right? And at some point, you won't need centralized exchanges anymore because there'll be so much liquidity from all the projects trading on the same platform. They don't know it's the same, but on the back end, the liquidity, the order books are shared. Right. So when New York City coin, gets with Global Boost exchange and they trade, they're sharing the liquidity. It's not one exchange and another exchange. They're the same exchange. They just look different. And so I hope you guys see the vision that this is the end all exchange. It will kill all the centralized exchanges out there. The only thing they could offer is fiat currency. That's it. And we have the USDC. I think we have that too, right, Polly? So get involved,
Yeah.
get your people here,
Yes.
start learning. And I think F Droid, I think is F Droid out yet?
Oh, yeah. I should have mentioned that. It's not officially out, but the official it will be released, with the other apps. But it is done. The F-Droid version for Android users, who don't want to access it through the Play Store and want to install directly themselves, will be available here shortly as well.
And that's like extremely important to us pirates, right, guys? Because we don't want to download things from Google Apps. And so F-Droid is really a breakthrough for me. It may not be for a lot of people, but getting your apps getting your APKs in an alternative fashion is extremely important. Right? I believe that
Yeah,
even
I dig F-Droid a lot. It's really funny too because I have like a lot of apps, like a lot of these wallets I got from Google Play. Phantom is one of them. And if you don't have your Google Play enabled, you can't use the wallet. You're like cut off. So it's like the whole thing just doesn't work at all. So it's like imagine having all your assets on something like that Google decides to shut off. You're shut off. Like that's the end of your access to your funds. So it's very, very important to have something like F-Droid and something that's open source that doesn't need to talk back to Google Play every time you open it. Yeah, so I just saw that jumped on here as well. So I'm gonna be like en route to the airport in like a few minutes. So like if I cut out is the guy Global Toshi. Oh wait, I just blew his anonymity. He's Global Toshi. Jesus, I'm no good at this. But yeah, he's on here to help out as well. So shoot, thank you.
Thanks, Randy. Hey, gentlemen. Thanks for the invite to your little chat here. I'm working with Randy and on Global Boost. It's well, I'm Canadian, so I'm very humble. I'm a hockey player. I'm in here in Chicago, displaced Canadian, in crypto now for well over a decade. My pedigree is large projects. We relaunched PacCoin back in the day, PAC. So I've seen a little bit of everything in crypto, and I met Randy and Bruce Porter in Washington at a Washington Elite conference almost a decade ago, and we've kept together ever since. And this Global Boost project, there's not too many legacy chains that have been running for 11 plus years that are still ticking and haven't had a split or a fork or any kind of issues. And this thing is still ticking along, and a solid code base and a good dev behind it with Gabriel. He's in Nicaragua, and we're trying to get it back on the map, and it's back on the map now. It's solid with solid central DEX support, which is a major pain in my ass. Quick story is that Probit, one of the central exchanges, just decided they wanted to delist the coin. So I woke up yesterday morning and the price dropped like 100% because everybody's dumping because the main exchange is shutting down. So it's kind of like and then I go and research it a little more, and their Probit's actually dropping another 30 coins to the ilk of Litecoin and all these other big coins. So this is the sign that they're going bankrupt, and this is their quiet exit from the space before they screw everybody, is that they're slowly delisting everybody. I'm sure you guys have dozens of stories like that and experiences, but as a project, trying to run a project like this is a nightmare with this. So I really like your platform and what you bring to the table, and we're looking to dedicate a lot more resources to getting the wallet more prime time in front of everybody as our community grows. We'd like to grow with somebody that has a little better, I guess you could say, ethics of the space. And the reason why we're all here in crypto in the first place is you got to have the base belief system to be here, and those guys don't. So that's kind of why I like talking with you guys on this call. So I give you a quick overview on the project and where we're going to go with growth. I'm a big idea guy, and we're attacking free speech at the core. We've got a news aggregator running right now called FSNN.net, Free Speech News Network. That brand is really starting to pick up. It's been live for 2 or 3 weeks now. I'm going to expand partnerships to all the news aggregators in the space. So anybody that's an advocate of free speech and that has a news feed, we're going to aggregate that, create some partnerships, just get some relationships in the space around free speech. We're also going to build have you guys heard of Lemmy? Lemmy, Lemmy. It's a federalized Reddit system. I hate Reddit, but I like Lemmy because it's all decentralized. So we can plug into the Lemmy ecosystem with a brand that we've built. Is called Debated, DEBA.it.com, debated.com. The idea there is to build a community for a project around debating and what I call good discourse, and trying to retrain everybody around having conversations versus just saying F you and F you. Let's all agree to disagree sometimes and try to lead by example. So that's a concept that is really attractive to the younger generation, especially everything that happened with Charlie Kirk here and recently, and the visibility on free speech. We're going to push that brand forward. The other big piece is we've built a system. It's called Booster Live. It's basically a decentralized signal. Our network for the next phase of the coin is going to be based on, think if you had an Ethereum network, EVM based, if you had to have a Bitcoin to be a validator on that network, that's essentially what we're going to do with BSTY. Global Boost, if you have 1,000 Global Boost coins, you're going to be able to be a validator on the new coin, the new network. It's going to be called Global Impact Chain. Gabriel's working on launching that chain for the new year. So all the think Bitcoin layer 1 merged with Ethereum. We're going to do an Ethermint fork on that, and coin design's almost complete. We're going to be testnet on that hopefully December 1 if everything goes smooth. So we're a decentralized crypto digital brand agency system. I guess if you had to kind of describe what we are, Global Boost Media is where we're focused on building brands, building some community underneath us, trying to get out of this cycle right now where we can get a little infusion, so we actually have some operating capital right now. As if you guys know, when you're working on a bootstrap team, until you get enough of a following and enough of a community, it's pretty heavy lifting. There's usually a few people that are doing the majority of the heavy lifting, and right now we've got 3 or 4 heavy lifters, but we've got a lot of what I call friendly investors or friendly whales, and one of them being Randy on the phone this year too. So it's a strong community, strong project. I'm happy to give it a quick about it. The most is Bruce and Randy, and these guys are true ambassadors to the space and true ambassadors to the crypto scene, and just complete class acts. And I love being affiliated with them. So I guess that's it. Thanks for the time on the stage, and I'll hand it back to you. If you have any questions, please ask or reach out to me.
All right, yeah. So I believe I saw Global Boost mineable on a bunch of different algorithms. How does your emissions and distribution work with your coin?
Our distribution right now is yes script algorithm. It's mined. It's a CPU non-ASIC mineable coin. So we're truly coming into the wild via Z pool and CPU. There's three pools that I think the Z pool Canada right now is the big one to come in, and Zerg pool is another one. So we're truly, the coins come into the existence via aka Bitcoin.
Yeah, it was all fair start. Everything was fair start, and it's all fair. There was no pre-allocation. I mean, there has been like a lot of movement and who's got the bags now. But
Yeah, the bags have moved around. When you go and you dig into the blockchain, the first one that sticks out like a sore thumb. Do you guys remember the Cryptopia days? Well, it's funny because the biggest holder of BSTY is Cryptopia, and Cryptopia was an exchange that basically died one night. It was actually with Packcoin it died, and there was so much volume going through it. They closed up shop New Year's Eve, January, the one night, and closed up shop. And then ever since, there's been all these stranded coins, and of which that 4 million BSTY in Cryptopia is sitting there stagnant for many years. So it's
over
kind
a
of an
decade,
interesting story.
it's like a decade almost or something.
Oh yeah, the Cryptopia shut down and I guess bankruptcy. Um, they weren't able to do anything with holders with your coin there. I know I used them way back in the day, and I think I had a little bit of some dust on there in that, so I
Yeah,
kept getting the emails from it. But was
yeah.
there any way to get stuff back, or did they just
They didn't
you know
offer it as a. They didn't offer it as in their settlement. They only offered the big ones that had real, the big players like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. They only really focused on the big ones. As to what happened with the smaller ones, I have no clue. I'm guessing they've just been orphaned and they're stuck. Just like anything, there's always a risk that could come to life at some point. Pray for that not to happen at this point, but my guess is that they're gone. That the wallet's gone or they're sitting somewhere. That's one of the reasons why moving to another chain where this becomes collateral for the new chain minimizes the risk to future investors a little bit. Doesn't completely alienate the risk, but it does give a little bit of a bridge. It insulates them a little bit from that. So that's why we've decided that BSTY being a collateral for mining for the new chain would be a good direction and a nice innovative twist in the space too. I think it will be well received.
Yeah, that does sound interesting. Can you explain more about how that will work, and when do you guys plan on having that activated in the future?
Yeah, so it's going to be built into the code framework where the collateral will be actually on chain check to ensure that the 1,000 BSTY are live on the chain registered, so it will not be standardly like a true POW. I don't want to have a failure on the new chain because the old chain fails. We don't need that kind of a dependency. It needs to be an isolated dependency where I think there's some back and forth right now about rewards where the chain will still move, collateral goes away on BSTY. You don't no longer get your rewards as a validator on the new chain. So that's the base logic on it. It's nothing overly complicated. Um, RPC to a pool via multi round robin DNS, so there's no single point of failure from a check perspective. But even if the check fails, we don't want to. We're only going to fail their ability to get proceeds or get the reward for validating the blocks. That's the only thing. And as in the quorum system, we're going to just mimic the 150 active quorum model. So if there's 1,500 nodes on the network, 10% of the nodes get the rewards or get the new coins, so to speak. So it's going to be an adoption phase instead of mining. It's you got to be active on the network with active collateral. No need for the new coin to be collateralized. It's strictly going to be the old coin. But I have to go through a little bit of a back and forth on that in terms of I believe that we need to have the easiest path is going to be to have dual collateral from an ease of implementation perspective. Otherwise, we got an open POS system on the network side, on the EVM side. So I don't really So I'm sorry, I'm kind of waffling on the phone with that question because we're still in development on that. But Gabriel says that it can be done, and it's going to be a modular check versus it being a dependency. I'll leave it like that. I'm sorry, I kind of talked around it a little bit. My bad.
Oh no, it's all right. I understand how these topics can be, not straightforward.
Yeah, it's a fairly big innovation in my belief. So I'm hopeful that it's going to be well received in the space. Using that analog of like the same thing would be, instead of it being Ethereum on an Ethereum network to validate and get coins going forward, it's going to be the same in concept as having to have Bitcoin. So you're actually joining the two chains via value. So it truly becomes a reserve. Bitcoin becomes a reserve to be enabled on the Ethereum network. So I think that that's going to be a well received innovation, is what my hope is.
So you were saying like the top percentage of validators will receive the reward. Um, does that kind of squeeze out the little guy, or is there some sort of delegating mechanism that can be
No,
done?
it's actually, think of it like this: the first 150 at the table get fed all the time for new tokens. So they're mining the first 150 adopters on the network, get it no matter what. But once you get past that, you've got at the 151st or the next one, you've now have a very minimal risk of a fraction of 1% of not being involved to get new tokens. So once the network doubles, you've got a flip of a coin. So once you get 300 active nodes on the network, you're now a flip of a coin as to whether or not you'll be validating a block on the next round, if that makes sense. So it's a 150 is the quorum size that's needed for validation, but as the network expands, your ability to sit at the table and get new tokens is minimized or lessened. So bigger network, less chances. Early adopters, just like in any of these projects, they're the first adopters generally get more coins. That I don't know of a way to design around that right now, as long as we're sticking with the current forks that we have in place. There's going to be no pre-mine, obviously, but there's going to be a flip of a flip, and when the new code goes active, it will be a little bit of a gold rush in the sense of people wanting to spark up nodes on the network to get access to the new token.
So, I'm guessing then you will be using like a randomized validator selection as opposed to a deterministic one found in like a lot of old school proof of stake systems. Like,
Um,
or is
I
there?
believe Ethermint is, yes, I believe will be randomized, would be my choice. But that would be put out to the larger stakeholders in the project right now as for feedback and an answer. I'm I'm not a coder. I'm a IT guy, a network guy by trade, and understand programming logic and used to program and understand what I'm dealing with, but I'm kind of a jack of all trades. So I can't give you a direct answer on that specifically without doing some more research, if that makes sense. My
Yes, yeah.
apologies.
Oh
Yeah.
no, it's fine. Yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to learn more about it and ask the
Yeah, so
questions.
Gabriel, the developer, he's got a pretty good grasp of English. If we had a follow-up call, I'd bring him on and he'd be able to answer it. He's the one that's digging around in that code base right now. He's the one that launched the original BSTY code base that's in place now, and I think he updated it to Taproot 2 years ago, and it's running very solid. And he's the guy that's going to do this. He's pretty excited about it. So we're going to give him another developer to kind of bounce things off of. But he's going to be on Git, so be visual. Anybody that wants to jump in and roll up their sleeves and help, that'd be great. The open invitation. So it's Global Boost is our GitHub now, and we're going to probably launch a fresh one for this code base because it's still it's kind of out there that's what we're doing, but we haven't pushed it really heavily yet in terms of dates and times, and as you guys know, it sometimes ends up biting you in the ass if you put a date out there, because whenever you're doing a decentralized project, dates tend to float pretty fast, so it's kind of tough. As
Yeah,
Randy, you
yeah,
say, you never use coming soon in crypto. It's kind of tough, you know.
right. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, yeah. Right now, we're in the process of re-releasing our wallets with a unified code base. We recently migrated everything over to Rust and to the Flutter framework for the front end, and Dart and everything. So completely changed it from the old React JS stuff, and it's uh, we thought it was going to be a lot quicker than than it was. So yeah,
Right.
I totally understand the whole giving dates is it's a hard thing in crypto, because kind of building a lot of stuff from scratch, and you only can really
Yeah,
eyeball.
absolutely.
Yeah. Um. So with you mentioned this Freedom News network.
Yeah.
Now, is there a tie-in with the coin itself? Like, can you use the coin there for to get your feed published, or to do anything, or is that a separate adventure?
Well, that's the question. Right now, we're a freemium system, so in that respect, everything that we do is for the space and free. We don't have any true tie-in to the token. We were pursuing ordinals heavily, trying to get the Unisat wallet integrated and implemented on our code base. To be honest with you, it got to be a huge project with a lot of dollars, and I went through a lot of waste on people promising they could fork it and they can't, because what happened with Unisat is their whole API is under their thumb. So you have to use them. You can't. You got to develop something totally separate. So we, Randy and we've talked so much. It's gotten so behind us that we have to go with the Ethereum path with getting our EVM online, and that just makes a whole bunch of sense for Web3, because there's just so much code out there that we can re-leverage to integrate with an FSNN. So sorry for the long answer to the simple question, but the next phase of our growth is going to be to integrate Booster Live, integrate FSNN, everything we prop up or push out there into the ecosystem will be join it with your Web3 wallet, whichever one we'll be able to
Actually,
support them all now, because with our new code base, everything opens up a whole new
actually,
spigot of opportunity for us. So that's
actually,
where, go
I
ahead,
keep
Randy.
up. And yeah, actually, so because we're a decentralized project as well, Eric has like a lot of ideas, and other people have other ideas too. So it's like it also is going in a lot of different directions too. So as far as the ordinal stuff is, I was running an indexer, and I was doing a lot of automated data logging with Taproot, and I still would like to go down that route, even though Eric wants to go with another chain as well, or another, And then I was also looking at, Stacks protocol, how they implement on top of Bitcoin as well. So I mean, it's still up in the air. We're I can't say that, Eric is going to do what Eric is doing, and he's going to bring that value to the project. Whoever else can bring value to the project, it's free to do so. It's like it is a truly decentralized blockchain,
Yep.
and
It's open source. Yep.
so I mean, like for instance, I run the Telegram group, and the founder is always telling me, hey man, maybe you should like put me on that, because if something happens to you, I'm like hell no, bro. It's like it's a decentralized project now. It's like so I mean it's good to have people all going in different directions, because or else it's more centralized, and it's good to have developers working on all different stuff. So you know uh I just don't want Eric to keep take the whole show up. I'm driving now, so it's kind of hard for me to jump in, but I just wanted
It's
to
all good.
interject with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all love each other, even though we don't all agree.
I do agree with you, Randy. I just want to get to market with something that
I
we
know,
can
I
build
know,
on.
I know.
and then
and that's
we can always,
fantastic.
once we have some capital in our coffers, then the ordinals come to life again, and we breathe life into the other side. So everything is really dependent on resources and capital. And at the end of the day, this is going to get us to the game, and our brands are going to be very monumental in the space. I'd love to share my big idea with you guys on this call, but I'm kind of waiting to hold it for a bigger release at a certain point. We need to be able to inscribe to a front end that's very social as well. So it's going to be a strong brand, and the customer base is everybody in the world for this one, and it's a
Yeah,
truly
that's why
truly
I think Noster really failed on that part. So I was like a big
yeah.
advocate of Twitch and what they were doing, where they were putting all that data on chain. But unfortunately, managing so many UTXOs, you just at a certain point, their indexer they couldn't handle it. Like that's what really happened to that one social media site. All
Mm-hmm.
that data is still on chain, which is
Yep.
fantastic. But to run an index and to do all that, it is very intensive, and the bigger it gets, the more intensive it is, and there are ways, I guess, to do with Merkle proofs and such, where it's not so intensive, but it's still, you have to run a secondary database that you cache to make it work really quick on the web, and it's a lot of work. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one solution, another project who spoke here a few weeks ago, Ergo, is they currently have active is kind of like a demurrage tax on old UTXOs. Like, so people essentially pay for the block space for old entries, and they have to upkeep it. And if they don't, then it gets purged and entirely, from the chain. So yeah, it kind of breaks the immutability aspect of blockchain, but at the same time, it doesn't make it so onerous to have constant new data coming in, and with having this backlog that's of dead weight that you're just carrying around. Might be something to look into if that's a solution or not. It's just an idea when I heard the problem you guys are describing.
Yeah. Well,
So,
thanks for the chat, guys. You have any more questions? I just jumped out of my day job to jump on this call for a second. I'm sitting out in my car, so I was wondering, you have any other questions or queries? I'd like going to keep an active view on your project a little more. I like what I heard on the introduction a lot more, and any ways we can help move the momentum. You guys help us a lot with our market cap too, because every once in a while I'll see the Komodo prices pop in there, so it's an active uh, dex on our listing, which I appreciate a lot, and I'd like to see that be more action and more volume. That'd be a lot of fun to watch.
The answer to that is we got to run more Komodo nodes and fund the decks.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
essentially it's running your own makers, and you don't you could place the order against any coin that we have available too. So it's you're not limited to just some big ones or just a certain kind. We have hundreds available. So
mm-hmm.
yeah, take a look, and we have some docs on how to set up a maker and such, and there's several community members that do so. So yeah,
Okay.
if yeah, we're willing to help out if you guys are interested. But before you guys go, I'll turn it over to the audience here. If anyone has any questions for Global Toshi or Space Style, and now's your open mic.
No hockey players out there? Anybody like hockey? Anybody come to Chicago?
That's that
No?
game. That's that game with the chopsticks, right?
Yeah. Hey, how about the Mets, huh?
AP got this. I don't know.
Or come on, there's got to be a Blue Jays fan out there somewhere.
I'm a
Don't tell me
fan
you
of.
all cheered for. You didn't all cheer for the Dodgers. Don't tell me you did.
I'm a fan of the movie Slapshot with Paul Newman and Strother Martin and the Hanson brothers. The Hanson brothers rock and
There
roll.
you go. All right. Well, I was just trying to see what's going on out there, and anybody's in Chicago, poke me up and see what's going on.
Yeah,
Chicago's not quite like New York, but it's a lot of fun.
I had no idea about Global Boost. That I didn't know. I had no idea that you guys had a coin and everything. So I looked into it for this show. How
You
do I
know, you know,
mine?
you know. It's fun. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny, Lutz, because we did Tompkins Square Park. I think I had the banner out then, and yeah, I thought you knew like I was helping out these guys with this because
I I
it's just
never
like
I never looked into your coin. I remember the logo from back then. I just
yeah, yeah,
I never looked into it. And if I knew it was mineable, I'd probably be mining it still.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
So
easy to mine.
Mine and
You could
dump
be
it for
mining it in five
pirate, whatever
minutes.
you know.
how do I get started with the mining? I
Down
think that's something people would want to know. You know? If I want to mine it, can I?
download the CPU miner, and you'll get a fraction of a coin a day on an 8 core processor.
There's a
It's
GPU miner as well.
How about a dual 64 core
So
processor?
Oh well, 64. You're going to get a little more than that. You'll get a handful of several coins a day at that price. So that at today's price, it's about $1.40 a day. So you do okay with that with
Cool.
64
but
cores.
I don't.
if you do GPU though, you'll do a lot better.
Yeah,
Cool.
it all depends on what hardware you throw at it. It's very chopped up right now in the sense that there's miners that monopolize the space, but 12 and a half 12 and a half units every 10 minutes. It's a very scarce supply built off of very close to Bitcoin in the sense that there's only 23 million that have come into the wild at this point, and 30 million is when it gets to be a little tighter. So we just had a halving in April. Was it, Randy? I think it was April, I think.
Something
Um,
like
we went from 25 to 12 and a half. Yeah, so it's getting pretty scarce right now. Buy and
yep.
mine, correct? Yeah. We're we're about to go on 4 new exchanges. I know we're not sex focused, but this is a Dex channel, but there were 4 new exchanges to expand our reach in the next month. We're going one every 2 weeks for the next 2 months, so that's going to spread supply out even more and give us exposure to probably 2 or 3 million, 5 million new faces and eyeballs to see the project. So I'm pretty excited.
Have you guys ever thought of putting a Komodo inside your wallet, like white label it for yourself, and not worry about
Yeah,
the
I'd
I
love
guys?
to.
actually
Yeah, I'd
I was
love to
playing
do
with
that. Our wallet right now is QT Wallet. It's the old original Bitcoin QT wallet with our branding on it. So I'd love to see something fresh and clean for it. It'd be wonderful. It'd be a wonderful match. We're gonna grow, guys. We're the last project I touched. We had check out Packcoin, and we're gonna do Packcoin version 2. This is gonna be a big. We're gonna get a big move and a lot of people coming into the project with these ideas. I know they're going to work. I have no doubt in my mind they're going to work, and they're going to get.
yeah, I play with the Komodo code quite a bit. I was running some maker bot for a bit. I was running some like auto exchange bot. I don't know. Somebody wrote it, I found it. And I was just got it up and running. But yeah, I mean that the what?
I'd love to investigate that. I'd even invest. Let's look into that, Randy. Let's look into making this wallet our primetime wallet.
Well, I mean, here's where we are.
Right. Okay.
Yes, this is
I'm going
true.
to poke
This is
around on
true.
it a little more. Take a look. Understand it a little more. Sounds good.
Yeah, and uh, additionally, the vaults are open source, so several projects have done this already, but they essentially take it and make their own white label. Firo has one, Digibyte as well. A couple other coins, Cheetah coin, so it's a smaller coin from a community member here. A few others. So yeah, we're totally open for that as well. So if you wanted just an upgraded BSTY coin wallet or Boost coin wallet. I call it BSTY because BSTY, right? But there's yeah, it's there for the use. That's why we have everything open source and people
Excellent.
can
Yeah. I'll dig into it and see what I have
Yeah.
an idea for it already. I have we could call it a BSTY wallet, but it sounds better to be branded something bigger. I've got a domain name I own as coinfile, coinfyle.com. That'd be a pretty good brand for that type of a purpose and use case.
Oh yes, yeah. It's it'll be totally up to you. What you
Mhm.
guys want to label it as. Yeah. So the web app version is out now, and as I mentioned at the beginning of this meeting, the desktops and mobiles are coming soon. We're just hammering out the last of the bugs for before we do a public release of it.
Cool.
Yeah, sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Now that we're at the approaching the top of the hour, I guess we'll wrap it up here for tonight. I'd like to thank the guys from BoostCoin here, Global Toshi and Space Style. Thank you for stopping in tonight and telling us about your coin. We love hearing about different projects and what they're going on, and their stories and what's currently in development, and just learning about different things. At Komodo, we kind of take the opposite approach. The most coins tend to be very maximalistic and tend to be like their own separate islands, but we try to integrate with everyone because we feel this tech is made for everyone. So yeah, with that, I guess we can wrap up here fully. Have a good weekend, everyone, and we'll see you here next week at the same time.
All right. Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
it. Thank you. Global BOO.st.
Global Boost with .st on the end. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Talk to you guys later. Thanks,
Thanks, guys.
Lutz.